The magic of the first moments. In youth, everything is new and fresh. You experience first at a rapid pace, your first kiss, your first time driving a car, your first day of high school and college, your first job, your first time traveling without your parents. The novelty of these firsts creates rich memories, and therefore the time periods of high school and college seem eternal. Slow your life down with the magic of the first moments. When I was 20 years old, I hitchhiked to Spain. It was my first time traveling overseas. I remember almost every moment of the trip, from the sights and smells to the sounds and textures, down to the smallest detail. I can still taste the fresh olives, ice cream and seafood. It was a trip full of firsts. In contrast, my last trip is a bit of a blur. Some of the memories are clear, but I have trouble distinguishing the previous year's holiday trip from the ones before that. At first glance, it looks strange. After all, one trip was 28 years ago, while the other was 24 months ago. So what's the difference? Why does one experience leave such a lasting impression? Probably for the same reason that time seems to slow down in youth and speed up with age. The novelty of an experience affects how our brains perceive it. David Eagleman is a neuroscientist and writer who studies how our brains perceive time. In an article in The New Yorker, he explains that our brains process familiar information quickly. However, when new information is presented, our brains take longer to organize and synthesize the data, making the experience more memorable and time seemingly slower. This explains why we think time speeds up as we age, Eagleman said. It's why the years of childhood seem to last forever, while old age slips away while we slumber. The more familiar the world becomes, the less information the brain records and the faster time seems to pass. Time is such a rubbery thing, it stretches out when you really turn on the brain's resources, and when you think, oh, at it, everything is as expected, it shrinks, Eagleman said. Time may fly when you're having fun, but the memories created from new and exciting experiences are so dense and vivid that they give the impression that time is actually slowing down. Memory bump. A number of studies have been conducted in which older people have been asked to recall their most vivid memories. Overwhelmingly, these memories were of experiences that took place between the ages of 15 and 25. This phenomenon is called reminiscence bump. This phenomenon is not new. The 19th century British poet Robert Southey once wrote, "Live as long as you can. The first 20 years are the longest half of your life. It seems so when they pass, it seems so when we look back on them, and they take up more space in our memory than all the years that follow them. Why are our teens and 20s such defining decades?" A 1988 study that found that 93% of vivid life memories relate to unique or first-time events may be the key. In youth, everything is new and novel. You experience first at a rapid pace, first kiss, first time driving a car, first day of high school and college, first job, first time traveling without parents. The novelty of these firsts creates rich memories, and therefore the time periods of high school and college seem eternal. Author Joshua Ford, in Moonwalking with Einstein, The Art and Science of Remembering Everything, writes that adolescence and early adulthood is the most colorful and exciting period. It's when you hitchhike across the country, go to lots of meetings, have interesting encounters, and learn things for the first time. You'll remember your trip to Peru, Ford explains, more than the year you spent sitting in an office doing the same job you've been doing for the last 5 years. And indeed, the 4 years during his 40s seem to fly by in a flash. As you get older, it's easy to get into a routine and fall into predictable patterns. Get up, take the kids to school, go to work, come home, eat dinner, put the kids to bed, go to the couch, go to sleep. Repeat and repeat. When you look back, there's very little interruption in the patterns. There's nothing to break the script. Life becomes an uncluttered blur, spasming around repetition. And that's the worst part. While the repetitive days drag on, life speeds up. This begs the question, how best to break the monotony, slow down the perception of time, and create more meaningful memories? Create more first moments. David Eagleman referred to time as a rubbery thing. While we can't stop the passage of time, we can shape our perception of it. We can interrupt the patterns of our lives by bringing more novelty and new experiences into it, and in doing so, create more memories and meaningful moments. This explains why we think time speeds up as we get older, Eagleman said. That's why childhood years seem to last forever, while old age slips away while we slumber. The more familiar the world becomes, the less information the brain records and the faster time seems to pass. Time is such a rubbery thing, it stretches out when you really turn on the brain's resources, and when you think, oh, at it, everything is as expected, it shrinks, Eagleman said. Time may fly when you're having fun, But the memories created from new and exciting experiences are so dense and vivid that they give the impression that time is actually slowing down. The best way to achieve this is to harness the magic of more first moments. There's a reason that most of our first moments take place during our teens and 20s. We can engage in first moments at every stage of our lives. First moments can range in size from something as simple as cooking a new recipe for dinner or discovering a new hiking trail to something more grandiose like an overseas trip or learning to play a new instrument. The key to success is not to look at new, novel experiences as spontaneous events that happen to you, but rather as things you create. You have to come to the realization that life is short and can pass you by if you let it. Sometimes you have to break the script to appreciate what is in front of you, to see what is possible, and to slow life down. This was definitely the case in our experience. From camping with my family, to backpacking, to starting a new job, the last few years have been full of firsts for me. It's a period that was quick but vividly clear. I'll never forget it. First moments have the power to change us. After all, life is nothing but a series of moments, so plan more important ones, big and small, into your life. Do something new every day. Look forward to something every day. Yes, life is short, but the first moments make it seem so much longer.